Hello, my name is Karen Crow Weinstein. Welcome. It's been a couple of weeks since I did a show, and I want to talk to you all. I think this is I'm going to run. I don't know precisely if I'm going to run, but I will be on the ballot as a third person for the President of the United States. If I run, I'll be at the third party, independent party. I want to be able to freely work between both parties and not take sides. And then I will try to bring both sides, Republican, Democrat, to merge together to help the people, the average citizen, to a better life. And let's talk about Husky, medical insurance for people who can't afford insurance. Let's talk about this for a minute. Many doctors do not receive Husky. They don't take patients. They don't want Husky because they don't pay very much. Another thing is, I believe they have to work in order to get Husky. Mostly children get Husky. And then they have to travel far to find a doctor who has allows to take Husky. Now, one of my husband's, Dave Weinstein's, client, he is willing to pay more taxes to get good health care. Well, my husband and I brainstormed this situation. We set it up so that the individual, needing assistance with medical care, well, he's willing to pay his taxes, increase in taxes, and be applied to get good health care for the people who are not seniors or disabled. They're the backbone of this country. They should be receiving assistance as well. Don't let them carry the United States by working and doing all kinds of jobs and work just let a little bit of money to be put towards the medical care. So, the doctor's office, the bill, how much can you pay for the medical treatment? You could address this to the state, the federal, and the doctor himself. Get on a payment plan, and I think the doctors would rather treat a person when there's a plan that has them getting paid a little more than what Husky pays. So the other question is, how much can you pay for your medical care on your own? So that brings me to something else. What if, after I debated with my husband, what if people can donate to the government so that all these organizations that people have, that the state and federal offer to the people, constituents, so that everyone could stay healthy. And you could decide on your tax bracket, on a tax form, who you want to donate it to. You could donate additional funds to SNAP, EBT card. You could do people who need clothing, people who need gas money, just in general, to help the people. And let the people help the people. The government decides where the money is allocated for such programs. There's a lot out there. There's money that we could help a person get a home, take away all those homes that were just dropped, where they kick out the person and sell it. What is that called?
Foreclosure.
Yes, foreclosure. Help them to prevent them to have a foreclosure. That'll help the bank system so they don't have to ask the residents to leave because they haven't paid the mortgage. Then you have someone else come and buy the house and pay the mortgage. I think the people who are struggling, they should be able to stay in their home and get assistance. Okay? Now I'm not talking this assistance for American black people or any colored person that you may think gets so much assistance from the government. Well, in the government, it needs to be more equal for everybody who needs it. And don't be afraid, American white people, you could get assistance. Ask for it. They'll work hard to meet your needs so you can live a comfortable life. So maybe people can send some of the tax money back into the system so that these other organizations that help the underprivileged to be able to live a life rather than just exist in their life. I would like to talk about, the next thing I would like to talk about is the immigration situation. I did write a letter to the White House about this and what to do and how to solve the problem. I don't think they understood what I was talking about, so I'm going to show on this, and I'm going to make it quick. The Texas-Mexican border is a really bad situation, and this is not the American way, the way they're handling the situation, what they're doing with the immigrants from Mexico. They put up a barrier in the water. Unacceptable. Don't give the people water. Unacceptable. Don't give a person a way to get into America accordingly. These people need our help, and don't you wonder why are they all leaving Mexico? Does anyone know? There's got to be a reason. Must be crime rate is high. They want a place to bring their children up in a nice, comfortable and safe place to live. In America, we don't have wars, or at least I'm not aware of them. About people fighting against each other. We all work together to make things better for each of us, so that we could live a decent life. I would like to see, we have one entrance for the people to come in. Let's set up another entrance for just people coming from Mexico into America, and you could go through the papers there. They could have a place to sit, not in cages, no more cages. And they could, what you do is have them sit aside while you go through the process of processing and allowing them into our country. For example, excuse me, so the immigrants could come into our country. They're not bad people, I like them. You know what else I found with the Mexicans that enter our country? They help us. They don't make us change our way of living, our way of deciphering how God is and things like that. The spiritual world is left to be decided upon each and every one of us. So, I like to say, let the Mexicans come, have two places where people could come into our country, who could give them water and a place to go, right? And my question is, bring them to an area. My question is, these people do the work of very hard work, with the American white person cannot do, or others. So let them come in and help us grow food for everybody in our country, and do jobs, help put in a industry, one of the cars, places that they could put together the cars, and they get paid. These people learn, so we set up like mini houses or apartment buildings, let them stay in the room, have AC, have heat, have food and water. We could do this because we're going to get a lot more back from them from what we put into it. For example, these people will live accordingly, safe, and a place to put your head on a pillow on a bed, especially for children. Let's have big plantations, so these Mexicans can grow crop. So instead of just doing nothing all day, they don't have to go. They're not going to be slaves. They can take time off, relax if they're working too hard, but they get some money. They could get a payment to have themselves be able one day once they welcome papers. The papers are done and are welcomed into our country, and you release them and let them go about the country to make our country a better place to live. So I'm talking about the food they grow. They could have animals, cattle they could have, and then they can feed the people in our own country, and the vegetables will grow. And to make things good between the Mexican people and the Texans is this. We will make enough food, and we'll bring food, fresh vegetables, to the oligarchs, the rich people, and we'll give them vegetables from the gardens. They have the choice to buy it or just receive it as our token of graciousness, the gratitude of allowing them to pass through the country and to the border of the U.S. They have a area for fun, places for people who can shower, and have people on the premises clean the areas, and I think they learn how to speak English. Place where they could buy some clothes with the money they make from farming. They're to become a citizen of the U.S., live the life of a U.S. citizen. They must learn to speak English. They must learn how to drive a car and get the driver's license. They must attend school, especially for the children, to learn about the history of America. They will receive help if they have children. The children will learn to speak English. They will become a citizen of the United States. So this is the beginning. Just think, we let them come in. Once they pass and they're successful in this pre-stage of allowing them into our country to get asylum, what is wrong with that? And the food, the vegetables that they grow can be shared throughout the country. Also, I've told the White House there's places where they have animals and they take them and euthanize them and share the body, the muscles, and all, to give to the grocery stores. So we're still having pretty good food. It sounds like they're running out of food for us, but the Mexicans can help us with that. Already you see Mexicans putting on roofs for people's homes and apartments. They do the hard labor. Let them in. Unlike another group who feels they have to change our ways to meet their needs and our needs. They think their way of life is the right way. Well, having a war in the location is having a location at the location to, I don't want to call it, I'm trying to be nice about slaughterhouse for the animals, and then they could ship that food all over the country. They make. And you're talking thousands of people coming across. There's thousands of people doing farm work. What's wrong with that? And they learn to drive, they learn to speak English, to be helping us. And then when you feel comfortable, they know enough English to talk, and then release them into the country. I was at a place, there was a place where there was a tour, and two people didn't follow what we do in America, and I was observing the area and taking it all in, all these beautiful items in that house. And I'd nonchalantly walk away from them, and then they picked up on it, and then started walking close to me. I felt very as if they're not listening to me when I want them to stay away, to make me uncomfortable. Then we went into a room. All the people, there were even Asians in there, American people. Asian people have adjusted to the government, what the government wants of them. And they even work for the government. We all came together and we all stood in the back of the room, and we separated us from these two other people that are migrants. Not Mexican, but migrants from another country. They want to change our ways, and I can't do that. I can't allow that. It's not going to happen. If they try to change the way we live, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to leave our country and go back to your country where it's not a very pleasant place to live. And that's how I feel. These people in that room were Americans, and not the other two. We stood aside. And that meant that the people in that group saw what was happening, and they went side by side with me. You're welcome to come into this country. You have to become an American and follow our ways and respect our ways with our faith, with our schooling. Where do you get the idea of burning books? Because of our past? All of us, even immigrants, must know the history of the U.S. and how we got here. I am a proud citizen of the United States. That's what I want to tell you, and I wrote a letter on the website to President Biden and to the White House. And I don't see them reacting to my requests that I just shared with you. Please, people, it's time. It's time to start listening to me. I could give you ideas and thoughts, and I want to help all of you. I don't understand. There's a separate connection, and I'd like to connect with the people so I can help you defend our country, to live in our country accordingly as we live here, as us Americans live. Come to America, you become an American. No industry. And if you don't want to come in and do like the the American people, maybe you don't belong in this country. I think this is all I'd like to discuss. There's more that I'd like to share with you, but I will make that another day. I am sharing this knowledge so that we can do this work. Don't worry about the government, because the government wants you to do what I do, what I tell you to do. They like my ideas. They like my ideas of making things better for the individual and for all others. And I'm going to put out there on my show people who are Republicans, the men, who are white supremacists, I would like to make contact with you. And I would like to work together with you, if you're willing. Let's connect, let's meet, and together, with you being taught certain things from certain people, I'm being taught by some people, let's unite and make it a peaceful way of change for us all. And I received the email, and they said, women are to be equal. Okay? Let's work it out. It's working. What we have today, what we're doing, it's working. Let's keep it going. I want to know how I can help you, Republicans in Texas. So let's get in touch and talk and work together. I'm running for president as an independent. I want to help the American people. Thank you.